than myself. And it has been very hard because part of it is a lot of fasting and cleansing and detoxing. And when I say fasting, I don't mean going completely foodless. This is fasting certain foods, fasting certain, not having meats, not having animal products, having more water, having lots of fruit, having more vitamins, waking up at certain hours of the day, doing certain exercises, certain, call to actions for myself, certain affirmations, putting things out there in the universe that I feel I need and that will help me. And that's just a minute part. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but it was a big part of it. And so that happened for about 2 weeks, and it continues to happen. And I welcome it. I welcome the confirmation that there is something bigger than me out there. I'm very grateful for that, and I'm happy because if I had to depend on humans, I probably would consider end of life services because humans are so fickle and they don't know what they really want. A lot of people are just not certain of what they want. They are just wandering this earth trying to make good decisions aimlessly and without mentors. And one of the people I am talking with, in the sense of like interactions via Facebook and joining his groups, is Jay Shetty. And his material has been extremely helpful in guiding this journey that I decided to go on. I really don't like to use the word journey. I think it's overused and it's just being marketed and mass marketed in a way that is a buzzword for people. And I work in advertising and media, and I know when someone's overusing a word, and I know when people are, I can see the sell, and I feel like that word is being sold way too much. So that is not my goal here to sell any kind of product or whatever, but I just want people to understand there is a bigger thing, and that his work has been extremely helpful in me getting on that road. Now, I have made a couple of mistakes in this fasting and in this spiritual work and in my attempt to prevent and position myself in a place where their mistakes and problems will not be, hurt me. And I'm working on that. And it was mainly just, the way I was carrying out the fast. There was a point where I was like, okay, I'm just not hungry and I'm not feeling, I'm concerned, and I'm so concerned that I just don't want to eat, period. And I stopped eating for several days, and it caught up with me in a very scary way. And thankfully, no one was hurt, and it didn't hurt. It wasn't anything with my current work or with anything. It was just something. I was out one day, and then something happened. And I was like, wow, okay, I have to eat. I have to prevent myself from getting into a place where I'm so zoned on my spirit work that I don't pay attention to other things. So back to about the prevention, you kind of just need to remember that we all are with people, especially if you're working, you're a millennial. We already have this unfortunate stamp of, oh, they think they're better. People are intimidated by us, which is so disturbing. Instead of wanting to work with us and be more involved and take our knowledge and use it in a productive way, in a sense of using us as part of the bigger picture, a lot of people want to snatch what we have and run with it and then try to say they came up with this. And I will name no names. But yeah, people are constantly trying to suck and pull from millennials without keeping them a part of the conversation. So remember that as you go on your corporate life and as you move through various workplaces to, just keep that in mind and be mindful of what you share and how you give and and mindful of your place at the table, and do what is necessary to prevent you from being a victim of their panic, of their, lack of a better word here, ignorance, and of their fear, because that is what I'm seeing as we are working with people who are older than us that are just in a state of panic as they move into their close to retirement of their soon to be exit plan out of corporate life and into a life of, I don't know, maybe their secondary hobby job or whatever. They are in a state of panic and they are doing everything they can to protect what they have and maybe even prolong their time in the corporate world at anybody else's expense. And you have to be very aware of this and prevent yourself from being a victim of whatever decisions that they may accidentally make, or, you know, again, back to this whole thing of taking on certain things into the groups and removing certain things in the groups out of just not knowing what else to do, because they have to make some kind of action and do something, and that's what they chose to do, and then it screwed everything up. I've just seen some really sad, pitiful situations in this past year that have cost people and others of money because of somebody else's not not having the knowledge that they really should have had for that position that they were in. There are a lot of people in positions that just don't know what they're doing. Do not put yourself in a place where you're going to hurt. So what are those things that we can do? And I'll be really quick because we can only talk for maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. You've got to save your money. You have got to find a way to put money aside. Build yourself a cushion. Do what you have to do. For those of us who are not the traditional Western beauty, the traditional look of what is quick to be hired or quick to be trusted, you're going to have to remember that and maybe find some kind of way to protect yourself from their ignorance, so that when you walk into a place where you're going to be interviewed, or whether you're, you know, they're making changes, that you are seen as trustworthy and someone that they can not be fearful of, because that's just being not being yourself. You can't change yourself to make someone else like you, but protect yourself from their ignorance in the format that you, if you look a certain way, whether you have tattoos, whether your hair is blue, whatever it is. People who are older than us unfortunately cannot value, and sometimes when there's time to move something or change something, they'll take that strange person that they consider, you know, that person that's strange by their definition, and move them out of the picture because they don't know what else to do. I hope that makes sense, and I will try to do a part 2 on prevention and give you specific steps that I feel are necessary. I'm no expert in this. This is just what I have seen that works, and we can explore that and talk about it. If you have any questions, please email